Topic 2. Elements of the database environment. There are four primary elements. First, the user. Second, the database system. Third, the database administrator. And fourth, the physical database. Here presents a breakdown of the database environment into four primary elements. Shows how the user access the database in two ways. The first is via user application programs that system professionals prepare. These programs send data access requests to the database management system, which validates the request and retrieves the data for processing. The method of the database access is via direct query, which requires no formal user programs. The database management system has a built-in query facility that allows authorized users to process data independent of professional programmers. Now discuss the four primary elements of the database environment. First, the user. They are the one who access the database. And there are two ways to access the database as I mentioned earlier, at via user application programs and via direct query. Primary element of the database environment is the database management system. It provides a controlled environment to assist user access to the database and to efficiently manage the data source. So, database management system have four features. First is the program development, contains application development software, backup and recovery, where they make backup copy of the database annually, database usage reporting, it captures statistic on database usage used by the database administrators help in assigning user authorization and maintaining the database. And fourth is the database access. It is the most important feature because it is enabled to permit authorized user to access the database. Here's an overview of the database management system operation. So first, the user program sends a request for the data to the database management system, and the call is written in a special data manipulation language that is embedded in the user program. And then the database management system analyzes the request by matching the call data elements against the user view and the conceptual view, and if the data request matches, it is authorized and processing proceeds to step 3. But if this not match the views and the access is denied. So the third one, step 3, is the database management system determines the data structure parameters from the internal view and passes them to the operating system, which perform the actual data retrieval. Data structure parameters describe the organization and access method for retrieving the requested data. So step 4, using the appropriate access method, the operating system interacts with the storage device to retrieve the data from the physical database. So step 5 is the operating system then stores the data in the main memory buffer area here, managed by the database management system. The database management system transfer the data to the user's work location in main memory. At this point, the user program is free to access and manipulate the data. When processing is complete, step 4, 5, and 6 are reversed to restore the processed data to the database. Now proceed to the data definition language. It is a performing language used to define the physical database to the database management system. It defines database in 3 levels. First, the internal view, wherein it presents the physical arrangement of the records in the database management system. It has only one view. Allows the particular user to describe the structure of the records, linkages between them, and their physical arrangement. The conceptual view or the schema. It represents the database logically and abstractly. It also has only one view. So it allows the user program to call for the data without knowing the data arrangement. And third is the user view or the subschema. It is a portion of the database and it has many views, not like internal view and conceptual view. Let's now proceed to data manipulation language or the DML. It is the proprietary programming language that a particular database management system uses to retrieve, process, and store data. Entire user programs may be written in the data manipulation language or alternatively, selected data manipulation language commands can be inserted into programs that are written in universal language such as PL over 1 or PL over 1, Common Business Oriented Language or COBOL, and Formula Translation or the Fortran. Query language. It permits end user and professional programmers to access data in the database directly without the need for conventional programs. International Business Machines Structured Query Language SQL has emerged as the standard query language. SQL is the fourth generation non-procedural language with many commands that allows user to input, retrieve, and modify data easily. This is an example of a select command used to query an inventory database. So this shows that you can easily get or retrieve the data that you need. Let's now proceed to the third primary element of the database management system. So it is responsible for managing the data source. So there are functions of the database administrator. First is they are responsible for database planning. They develop organization's database strategy, define database environment, define data requirements, develop data dictionary. And then they also are responsible in creating design, logical database or schema, external user views or subschemas, internal view of the database, database control. They are also responsible in implementation of what is planned. So they are determine access policy, implement security controls, specify test procedures, establish programming standards, and also in operation and maintenance. They evaluate database performance, reorganize database as user need demand, and retrieve standard and procedures. And also in change and growth, they plan for the change and growth and evaluate new technology. This figure shows the organizational interactions of the database administrator. Importance is the relationship among the database administrators, the end users, and the system professionals of the organizations.